numbers through the blue. Wupiupi trading on my screen, fortunes just behind the scene. Pulse chain calling out my name, every trade just like a game. Stakes are hard, time slips away, can't afford to wait till day. Trading whoopee up and down, wretched green around and round. Numbers dancing on the chart, break your records, falling apart, falling apart. Coffee cold beside my chair, market movements in the air. Buy the dip and watch it rise, morning sun burns my eyes. Other traders fast asleep, while I've got these charts to keep. Riding waves of loss and gain, digital fortune calls my name. Trading whoopee up and down, red to green around and round. Numbers dancing on the chart, break your records, falling apart, falling apart. Quick decision, swift precision, heart racing with each trade. No hesitation, pure elation when the profits are made. Dancing on the chart, breaking records, falling apart, falling apart.
How is this thing? I wonder what this high-tech futuristic hard drive can do. It looks like a fucking calculator. Maybe it's a bomb and I'm on a suicide mission to blow up Chicago. That would be a huge bummer. Or maybe this hard drive is going to be used to cheat the vote in the upcoming presidential election. Or maybe it's ransom for some rich guy's daughter and Liam Neeson is going to hunt me down and kill me. Fuck. Whatever it is, I hope it pays me enough to put me and the missus on Easy Street. I can feel it. This hard drive is gonna change my life. I can tell by the way it feels in my hand. It's about time for my luck to change. I deserve to be the wealthy asshole for once. I can taste the American dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wupiupi Wednesdays. You have arrived, I've arrived, we're here. We just watched a scene, a little clipper from my film Rabbit Hole. My name is DJ Mr. Lefty, aka Brian McGuire, aka the Vanilla Ice of crypto, the Vanilla Ice of Pulse Chain, the sweetheart of Pulse Chain, the angel of Pulse Chain, if you will. That's me in the flesh. Happy to be here today on another wonderful Wupiupi Wednesday. Lots going on in the markets. Lots going on with the INDIKIN crew. My partner in crime, Tom Peter Gillespie, was all over the internets this morning talking shop, and he's going to join us at some point, and we'll recap. He was on a show this morning with some film guys talking film stuff, and it was quite the convo. Anyway, we did. Yeah, I need to do something really quick. I want to say hello to all you Hexicans out there. If you don't know who I am, follow me. I'll follow you. I've been here since before there was Hex. I've been a Heart fan since before there was Hex. I was there for the sacrifice of Pulse Chain. I didn't start my journey in crypto on Pulse Chain, obviously, because I started way back in 2017. And I found myself on different chains and stuff. Did a lot of building on the Wax blockchain. Migrated to Pulse Chain, and I'm part of building one of the greatest onboarding tools that Pulse Chain has. Their best kept, the sweet secret that is INDIKIN, is going to help revolutionize and onboard the world into our sweet, sweet Pulse Chain. So yes. All right. So Tom, if you're watching this now, I'm going to edit that out and give that to you for your for the video thing that you're putting together on Thursday. Okay, let's go right on into the big show. Lady, babies, and gentlemen, the big show. Let's look at what all the kids are talking about. Everybody's raving about out there in crypto land. We did it. We're up at 108,408. That is an all-time high for Uncle Bitcoin. The old bickery-do. Let's bring it to the board here. There it is. 108. I mean, wait, where did it hit? Let's get in closer. And I don't know if you guys saw my special report yesterday. I did a special report about this crazy nipple right here, and we've entered into the nipple. So far, if you don't know what's going on here, what you're looking at, let me back this up. This is Chaos TNA right here. I blindly shut my eyes and scribbled. And so much support and resistance has been holding up true to these crazy lines. I mean, you can kind of see here. I can kind of zoom in, show you what I'm talking about here. All these scribbles were before all of this madness. And look at what happens. Support. Then it becomes resistance. Boom, breaks through, hits the next point of resistance. Can't even break through. Tries twice. Falls to support, then falls through, and then gets stuck underneath there. And then it starts working its way up. It's magic. And holy crap, once we got up into this zone here, the psychics in the community were freaking out at how true Chaos TNA has proven point. And then, the second round, if you get in closely, you can see there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. A lot of support, a lot of resistance. This one's a major resistance line here. Took a minute to break back over that. Obviously held the support. Bop, 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 bop. Then it fell through. And then it got caught in the thing. And then bam, skyrocketed up. And all these other lines, I freaking don't know. I mean, this chart has been with me for a bazillion years, and I've just been adding crap and weirdness to it ever since. And then I discovered Chaos Scribble TNA, and it's changed my life, changed my bank account. So this is the crazy, weird fear. This green dot, the nipple inside of the titty, is on Saturday. This is the day DJMrLEFTY performs at Lightning in a Bottle. So I'm quite nervous that 111,797.79 could be the new all-time high. And it's just over after that. It just falls apart. But there is a theory. If my set goes off like hamster gangbusters on Saturday, I think this could be the point of no return. We'll never see 11161695 ever again if we pass this nipple dot and break out of this bubble. But how long do we have to get out of the titty? Monday, June 9th is when we'd be out of the titty. So I think we need to pop above the titty, start going up for some oral. Wait a minute, where'd the mouth go? There it is. Okay. We want to start heading up to get some oral. Hopefully this mouth opens up and we make that happen here at some point. But really crazy. Congratulations to all you Bitcoiners, corners of the bit, all you bit maxis, all you lovely people that made it possible for all the altcoins to exist. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. 420. 420 is my all-time high call for this year, this run. 420. And Rob, Shane Schuler, there's only one Rob, Richard Hart's only brother, calls it at 411. That's what he's calling for the top. I'm saying 420. We'll see what happens. That is the Chaos Crypto TNA report. I hope you guys realize none of this is financial advice. You know, you have to do your own research and whatnot. You can stare at this chart all day long, but it's on you to pull those triggers or not pull those triggers. I can't help you. I cannot help you. As much as I could shut my eyes and scribble, I cannot help you. You have to figure it out yourself. But man, what an exciting time. What an exciting time we are living in here, bros. All right, so we're still waiting for Uncle Tom Peter Gillespie to show up. I've got some stuff. I got some stuff we can pull to it. But while we're waiting for him, let's just go and do a review of the LeftHouse.art site. That's where if you want to find out anything about me or what I'm up to or what I've been doing or, you know, that kind of shite. You want to know about my films. You want to see Rabbit Hole, and you're like, man, I just saw this sick-ass scene. I don't know what the hell he's going on, but he's talking about some weird-ass hard drive or whatever. If you want to know more about it, you just come here, and you see there's a Rabbit Hole tab. Bam! Bam! You click that right there, and it'll take you to the Rabbit Hole page. It's free on Tubi right now. It's free on YouTube. There's the full movies right here. You can read about it. There's my brother who plays the great Bumper Lap. It's an incredible movie. It's the greatest narrative about crypto ever made. It's basically about your journey through the space. Anyway, so that's there. If you need to find the movie, the weekend's coming up. You might have, might want to impress a lady, show her the movie. If you're trying to find out about my DJing skills, you can just click on DJ Mr. Lefty, and it'll take you to the page here. And it'll, I got all my links here if you're trying to find. Of course, we got the Lightning in a Bottle flyer up here. I really want all of you guys, everybody watching this. If you watch this, I think you should probably go to Lightning in a Bottle. I know it's like last minute and it's in California and it's balls deep expensive for the tickets. But I want to see you there. I want you to see DJ Mr. Lefty in action. It's going to be insane. 5 nights. The party begins today. And I'm not going to make it till Friday morning. But I'm very hyped. I'm very hyped to see Underworld. We're opening for Underworld on Saturday. They play after us. Different stage. But I'm still saying I'm opening for them. Yeah, it's going to be wicked. Look at that. Fire. There's going to be explosions in the sky. Look at that. That's the grounds right there. It's all lit up beautifully. There's some people on drugs. I don't know what they're doing. They're definitely on shrooms or something. I don't think they know each other. I think there's the first time they're meeting right now. Having a very psychedelic experience. This is for the glampers out there. Oh, you whales, this is where you guys would sleep. Last year I played. It was my debut, my return from retirement. So I was like, it wasn't like that big of a deal. This year's a bigger deal. It's a much bigger stage, much bigger crowd will be there. I was just kind of off in the corner, but my tent was missing some poles, so I was like sleeping on the ground, like with these cute little ground squirrels. She's on drugs, I bet. There's Fat Boy Slim. He was there last year. Anyway, go to Lightning in a Bottle and come find me at 6 p.m. at LIB Beach, right in front of the sign. It'll be a glorious time. All right, let's go back to the website, see if there's anything else on here that I need to share with you guys. Of course, we can get right to the INDIKIN page here. Look at that flyer. Wow. That's a beautiful flyer. Yeah, let's go look at the INDIKIN website. So what I did, and this is what I'm waiting for Uncle Tom Peter Gillespie to show. Oh, there he is. Good. Just in time. Let's bring him to the screen here. Let's bring him to the stage. Tom Peter. You're live, buddy. Hi. Hi. I love this outfit you're wearing.
Yeah, I've gone all dark fi. Getting really
cool.
into dark fi at the moment.
It's like the spirit of indie filmmaking. You know, you just wear all black, and you just talk. You like say how much you hate Spielberg, and you're in the club.
I was gonna rock up as a Saudi, but I decided against it.
Do you have the gear?
I do actually. If you go deep enough in one of the fucking YouTube channels, you'll see there's a video with Bitman 360 raising funds from a Saudi VC.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. So you needed the outfit.
Oh, it's where all the money comes from eventually.
So you were in a chat this morning. Who were you chatting with this morning?
Yeah,
a little film chat, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a few filmmakers. I don't know. They had a thing, an infrastructure play called Packet. I think they have a ticker called PKT, Picket on bass, right? But I didn't really get my head around what they were doing. To be honest, I think I'm too stupid actually.
It's a pretty intricate sort of system they were trying to explain to you, or this didn't really get into the explanation.
I guess I could have asked more questions.
But you were playing it cool, like you knew what was going on. Like, yeah, totally. You just kept saying totally over and over. Yeah, right on, bro.
So it's okay. So it's proof of work. It's not proof of stake, right? Got ya.
Right. Proof of work. Right. Proof of stake. Sure.
I've heard of it.
I still am kind of a little bit like all the proofs. Proof of what? Proof of
magic.
Of what? No, that's cool. So they're on bass though. They're doing a little thing on bass.
Yeah, apparently so.
We do a little thing on bass.
Yeah, we've got a bit of INDIKIN is on bass. Sooner or later, all of it's going to be on the pulse chain there. And I'm curious, like, because you're a pulse chain fella. Yeah. I'm just here. I'm visiting. I just couldn't. I've been. It's been a long. It's been a staycation. Actually, I've not been able to find the exit. So I came here a few years ago, but I wouldn't call myself a native. Not like yourself, obviously. You've lived here a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but like, it's still like, I was there early enough to not understand what the fuck was going on. I'll tell you that much, So if I could go back in time and yada yada, I'd be a rich man. But Jesus doesn't want me to be a rich man. He wants me to grind and make beautiful pieces of art and be praised by beautiful women. I'm working on that last part.
No, I can dig that. I think Jesus wants the best for both of us, actually.
He does.
It's guaranteed, actually. I think it's in a book somewhere.
I mean, last night,
Brian, you're in the fucking Bible, mate.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Life of Brian.
Life of B-Rod. And also, I wrote one of the books of the Bible too.
What, not so not
Yeah,
just a
I
page, but the whole.
yeah, no, I'm like one of the disciples.
Your volume is really low, man. I can
Is it?
barely hear you.
All right, let me work that out. I was wondering about that.
That's all right.
Let me see what's going on in audio land. Maybe it's not testing 1 2.
I've actually got one of those fucking giant mics here as well.
Testing 1 2. All right, I'm gonna turn my volume up here. Testing 1 2. How do I sound now? 1 2. Sibilants. Better. Mic volume 1 2. Yeah. Testing 1 1.
Sorry, man. Is this coming out? Yeah, no, you're coming through great. How's this?
You sound amazing. You sound on point.
Yeah, I think we've both got the same kind of microphone. It's like a podcast microphone.
That's the HyperX, right? Or is that what it says?
And you've got to hold it these days. You can't put it on a stand, otherwise you're not cool.
Well, this one, like, I could put it to like a thing, and be like, hey, if I wanted to, it could be like on the, but I need something right,
I think I just have to hang this from the ceiling or something.
Yeah, this thing was like $9 or something like that. I think it was.
Oh, this is my mate's actually. He asked me for $100 for it, and I told him it's more like $50 maximum.
Wow.
That can't be more than it's not $100.
Testing 1 2. I'm just trying to see what I sound like.
You sound amazing. How do I sound?
Yeah, you sound great. Yo, your mic's way cooler than mine.
Dude, what does mine say?
Sony? Does that say Sony? Or
No, baby.
It seems like
you're supposed to be like, wait, what does mine say? Do you not remember Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh, yeah. I love that movie.
Yeah, he's like, dude, what does mine say? And the guy's like,
dude,
sweet, what's mine say?
What does mine say?
Yeah, how does mine sound? Sweet. What is I think we're showing our age there. Like, how old is Dude, Where's My Car? That's a fucking old film now, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was a baby when that movie came out 50 years ago.
Nah, it wasn't. Dude, Where's My Car came out in like the 2000s.
So, we have a white paper. There's like the INDIKIN white paper thing,
Actually came out in the year 2000, so it's 25 years old. That
half my life ago, dude. I was 25 when that movie came out. That's so weird.
Yeah, that's some boomer shit. Quoting
I know. I'm still confused on the boomer thing, man.
It's what Shane calls me.
Yeah, I think he calls me that too. He calls fucking everyone that though. I just don't think that it makes sense because I'm like, I don't think I'm actually. My mom is a boomer, right? Not me.
Exactly.
Okay.
You have to be like,
all right.
You have to get out of buy an affordable house or something. Like when houses were like $4,000.
I'm fucking Gen X, bro. I think.
No, you're gonna be
75, bro. 75.
You're gonna be 75. You look really good for that.
No, this is the year I was born. 75.
Oh, 1975. Yeah, right. Okay, so actually, yeah, you are a boomer then.
What?
Yeah, because I'm an elder millennial. I'm at like the elder millennial.
Boomers are like my mom. Like they're 70 years old.
No. There's one before boomers. It's post-apocalypticos. The ones that all thought the world was going to end because of the Russians and shit.
I'm part of the Dew generation, dude. I drank a lot of Mountain Dew growing up.
I remember that drink. I remember 7-Up as well. Do you remember 7-Up?
Yeah. 7-Up was great, especially when we were young because the commercials. I don't know if they had the same like mascot. Well, not mascot. He was a dude as a human, but he was that black dude, the bald black dude with the deep voice. He'd be like crisp and clean. Ha 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 ha.
For 7-Up.
For 7-Up, crisp and clean.
No, man. We had a fucking doodle over here, eh? Like it was a skateboarding dude. Like
that came late. That was in the 90s. I'm talking 80s. I'm talking that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was the 90s. Yeah, you're an 80s kid. I'm a 90s kid.
I don't know. I remember the one too because that was a big deal. They had the little dots, the little 7-Up dots were running around and doing shit in all the commercials. Those are beautiful.
Exactly.
I really like that little dot on the can. But wait, where'd he go?
I just want to grab something, man.
Yeah. All right. So I wanted to, let's get serious here. This isn't just a show where we talk about. Yeah, it is. But I'm going to pull the INDIKIN site up here and see if there's any updates on it. Filmmaker tokens, ecosystem. Where's the team? They're not. It's not on here. Where's the other team? Where's the rest of our team members? Oh, he's still not with me. What happened to the rest of our team members? How do I find them? You're not going to tell me, are you? Or you can't hear me? Oh, he's not there. I see. Okay, so anyway, maybe I can't talk about that anyway. The INDIKIN Filmmaker Token Index. If you don't know what INDIKIN is, it's definitely the greatest onboarding tool for Pulse Chain that nobody realizes yet. But there's a cohort of filmmakers. Each filmmaker has a token. There's an INDIKIN token. That token is bonded to all the filmmaker tokens. The token's also bonded to PLS, Hex, PLSX, Ticker Pulse Chain, PLS Pop, several different coins at the moment, and more to be bonded into the system. And then INDIKIN is a tax token, so 1% of PLSX rewards on all swaps and transfers. So everyone that's holding INDIKIN is earning PLSX when fellas and fellettes buy, trade, swap their INDIKIN tokens around town. And then, that's exactly also how we are going to fund the films, because we're holding on to a large supply of the INDIKIN, which helps build a pool of PLSX that then we will fund films with. It's that simple. It's that simple. But there's so many more utilities and Swiss Army knife weaponry pieces that are being built out to make this thing go in a very smooth, beautiful, revolutionary direction. INDIKIN's all about the filmmaker and the community that is the filmmakers and their communities. I mean, that's kind of what crypto is, is part of. That's part of the deal. It's community. That's where Shizer. I can't say it more than enough, but I've met some of the greatest friends that I have here in the crypto space over the last 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't fucking know how many years it's been now. But that, so that's a big part of it. You back? Are you with us? Are you with us, Uncle Tom?
I'm with you.
Okay. I did something. I took the light paper. Where'd it go? This thing. I took the INDIKIN light paper right here, and I wiped my ass with it. No. I took it and I copied it and pasted it, the whole thing, and I put it into Grok. And I asked Grok to annualize it. Have you done this yet?
Really?
Yeah. Have you done this yet?
Did it come up with a document about the same length?
I don't know if it's about the same length. Let's see here. It says there's a brief introduction. It breaks it down. Tells us it tells the objective, the strengths, the weaknesses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So let's just see what it's like. This first.
I haven't done this actually. I haven't done this. So.
Me neither. I haven't read it yet. Is what I'm saying. I briefly skimmed through when I did this, but I was like, oh, this will be a fun thing to look at on the show here.
Yeah,
So
no,
I'll
reading's
read.
important.
I'm going to read the brief introduction here. The summary of
Yeah,
the
do
brief
you know what,
introduction.
man?
What?
I just want to,
What?
I just want to pull you up there for a second and remind you
Oh,
that
where'd you go?
the pen is more powerful than the sword.
The end?
Sorry, the
Where did you
word.
go? Why am I only hearing you? I feel like I'm talking to God now.
No, the word is more powerful than the sword.
Oh yeah. Oh, you want to? You know what I learned just
But
yesterday?
artificially generated words
No. Check this
are
out.
not as
This is gonna
powerful as
blow your mind. This is gonna blow your mind.
because
So
they are subject to hallucinations,
in
unlike,
communication,
unlike
when you're,
humans.
can you hear me? Or am I just talking to myself? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. I didn't know what's happening. In communication, when you communicate with somebody, 93% of the way that you are ingesting the information from them is by reading their body language. The words are only 7%. Isn't that
Okay, so
insane?
body language is more powerful than the sword.
Yeah. So that's what I was like thinking. Like words are doo doo.
But what if you can't see their body?
Like right now, I can't see yours. It's like I feel like God is speaking to me right now through the.
So right now, the word is more powerful than the sword, right?
Right now, you're more powerful than God. That's what I'm getting. That's what's happening for me. It's spooky. I'm getting butterflies in my stomach. All right,
Yeah,
let
I'm
me
on
read this to
I'm
you,
on the
Tom.
toilet, that's why.
Yeah, I know. I need to do that. INDIKIN is a decentralized platform designed to address funding, distribution, exposure, and intellectual property challenges faced by independent filmmakers. Its native token, INDIKIN, facilitates value through our value transfer among filmmakers, investors, and audiences within a Web3 framework. That's kind of true, not true. There's some. Okay. I don't know if I like this introduction so far. Anyway, the analysis,
This
the
is what happens
objective.
when you didn't read the whole brief. Like, it's the same
What?
like reading the headlines. You know, like motherfuckers
Yeah.
read the headlines
Yeah, this
and
is
they want to
fun
know
though. I
what's
don't
going on.
care. Like they can't say anything that would make me feel weird or like, oh no, they just said that we suck. Like
Yeah, but
we
you got
want
to
to
read
know what
the
the
article, man.
robots
You got to
think of
read the
us.
article. Otherwise, you won't know what the hell the headline's just bait, right?
Well, this is what the robots said when I put it in and said analyze this. So I'm just reading it, right?
Yeah, it's just bait, though.
Well, come on, let's just do the first little section here. That's all I'm trying to do. We're not going to read the whole thing. I think it's interesting. We might learn something. All right, here's the objective. Let's see if they nailed the objective from reading our thing here, our light paper. INDIKIN aims to disrupt traditional indie film financing and distribution by leveraging blockchain technologies and tokenomics. This aligns with the broader Film 3 movement, which integrates Web3 principles into filmmaking to enhance transparency, ownership, and community engagement. Okay. Strengths. The decentralized model empowers filmmakers by reducing reliance on gatekeepers, studios, agencies, and fostering direct connections with audiences and investors. The use of a native token, INDIKIN, incentivizes participation and aligns stakeholders' interests. Okay. Weaknesses. The light paper's introduction is high level and lacks specific details on how the platform differentiates itself from other Web3 film projects. I disagree, but the robots, that's their opinion. Over 100 Web3 projects in 2023 attempted similar goals, but struggled to attract non-Web3 filmmakers, suggesting a potential adoption barrier. Dun, dun, dun. See, this is where I don't think they understand us, or maybe they're like not all the information is in the light paper that we've, like kind of like what we're building out.
Let's go ahead and address those questions. What questions are being thrown up? Because I'd love the opportunity to address them, man.
What's that? What questions?
Yeah, any confusion with what the robots are like interpret.
Yeah. Like when it says in the strengths, there's a few things here. Like for one, like over 100 Web3 projects and 23 attempted this. I didn't know that. Did you know that? Over 100?
They didn't attempt this.
I know that's the part I was like probably kind of having problems with,
Yeah,
but just like the fact that there was over 100
I'm
film.
pretty confident that's not in the light paper.
No, that's coming from this is the robot's like, interpretation
But that's
of our
cool
light
because
paper.
I guess it's useful because it's throwing up misinterpretations, which we can like address if we want.
Absolutely. That's kind of what I was feeling when I was reading the objective or what it's saying, like that it aligns with the film three movement. But I'm like, it's kind, yes and no. I mean, there's obviously things there, but I feel like we are doing this differently than what has been done before. Like for 100% doing this differently.
I'm more than confident that we have mashed together some of the most sort of traditionally separated uh, entities or institutions, and we've kind of pulled them all together.
I don't think that those other things were offering what we're offering though too. Those other
Not in unison, not in
no.
unison. Yeah.
No, but like it's not to say that they sucked or this or that. I'm just saying like it's kind of building blocks, Like I thank all of them for doing it because it helps us to do what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like it's like the tools needed to move farther along from 2023 till now, and that's going to continue. Like it's just going to get easier and easier for a filmmaker who has no crypto savviness to participate in these things. You know what I mean? Like it's like bridging the gap. It's already happening, but we're already doing it. We're already bringing it. We're already crossing that. We're bringing in real filmmakers. We got. I mean, you know what I mean. There's like a line of people that I have that I can just start bringing through once
Yeah, yeah,
a
but
few things are sorted out.
we 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 can prove the concept works or does not work before the end of the year. That's what we can do.
Yeah.
I think we can, and at that point, like, we'll be in a really good position. But we
Yeah.
have to prove the concept, man, and it is still conceptual.
Yeah. Yes, it is on some levels, but although there
It's
are,
like basically it's like this. It's the script. We've written the script. Um, Now we're going to go out and produce it, like
yeah,
get all the bits together, and then we're going to try to take it to market. It's exactly the same process in filmmaking, though.
it is. It very much is in a lot of ways. But it's like there's similarities between the film industry and the crypto industry, but there's differences too. But one of the similarities is like a lot of people that are in those industries like have these fantasies of being wildly rich because of their work that they do in their lanes, in their space. You know what I mean? Like they want to make these great movies. They want to have these large, crypto gains or whatever. It's kind of like, so there's a lot of risk in both of them. There's a lot of cowboy in both of them. Like there's no guarantees in either one of them. Like you could be making a movie, you think it's the greatest movie, and then it just nobody cares about, nobody watches it, or you just can't even, you don't have a voice to get it out there. Nobody sees it.
Well, and that's part of the magic of Indikin is like, yes, of course, we all want everyone to see our shit, but that's not guaranteed. So, okay, what can we guarantee? And we focus on what we can guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else on top is fucking bonus,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, the infrastructure to the ecosystem is kind of key in that way. That's the key difference, I feel like. Let's see what the critical takeaway is here from the introduction. While the vision is ambitious, INDIKIN must address the challenges of bridging Web 2 and Web 3 creators to achieve mainstream adoption. Clearer differentiation from competitors would strengthen its positioning. Okay. So if like this is, we got to take this as like, the robot's a person that came in and read this thing, and this is what he took away from it, right? That's kind of he's like, oh, well, this is just like another Web3 thing. So it's like, yeah, maybe there are things that we can do in the light paper to dial it away from that and kind of express.
Well, yeah, let's touch on that a little bit then. So what was the feedback?
The strengths, the objectives, the weaknesses. Which one do you want me to
The
dive in?
weaknesses, yeah.
The light paper's introduction to high level and lacks specific details on
Yeah.
how the platform differentiates itself from other Web3 film projects. Over 100 Web3 projects in 2023 attempted similar goals, but struggled to attach non-Web3 filmmakers. I think we kind of did. I mean, we did just talk about this, suggesting a potential adoption barrier. That was the last line there. I mean,
Wait, hang on. Critical takeaway is the last one. Yeah.
yeah, they're very similar to the weakness. It's kind of the same.
Mainstream. Yeah. Okay. So this assumes mainstream adoption as a goal.
Right.
So it's made some assumptions about what the goal is as well. And I'm not sure that mainstream adoption is one of Indikin's goals, actually. I wouldn't call it mainstream, at least, because then you're going into the competitive realm of fucking the behemoths
The
of
way that I read that, though, I think I took it a little differently. You can correct me if I'm reading it wrong, but when I thought that, I thought it was like crypto people versus non-crypto people. You know, like is sort of the way I was like the adoption, because if you're Web3 friendly, yeah, why? Of course, you know, this makes all the sense in the world. But if you're like, you know, don't know crypto shit, like maybe that's like, or I don't know, I want to put my film in here. So is that what they meant, or is it just mean
well,
like don't?
it says Web 2 and Web 3 creators, so they just bundle them in together here. This is why I don't use these things so much for for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like bad that people can't take, like, 11 pages is fuck all, man. A white paper is like fucking 30 to 50 pages or some shit. Like a light paper is literally a brief of a of a white paper. So to add another briefing level onto that, to
Well,
reduce
it's
it's
I
not
think
going to
from
help. It's not going to help
our
people.
perspective, I'm not offended to read that. You know what I mean? Like I think there might be interesting takeaways, maybe not. Like, but you got to know where it's coming from. Like, you know what I mean, and know that it's like on sort of. All I said is analyze this. I didn't fucking do a very detailed
I'm not
prompt or
blaming
ask
you,
what
man.
you know for a lane that I'm looking for. So it's very broad.
Yeah,
What's coming
I'm
back
not
at?
blaming you. I imagine most people would do this, but do a summary of a summary of a summary is just like reduces it to really like not what it was, right? It's a little bit like Chinese whispers. You remember
Sure.
that expression, Chinese whispers, when you were a kid?
Yeah, no, I under it's telephone here in the states is what we call
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You pass this on and on and on until the thing at the end is not what it started as.
For sure, for sure.
This is what seems to be happening here, man.
A little bit, but I think it's also good to get that different perspective. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of interesting just to see
Not if people are not.
if I'm just asking the grok to analyze this, and I just give them the light paper, and this is what it comes back at. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, but totally wrong.
Maybe.
Not actually accurate, which is kind of important when you're making investment decisions. You want the
Yeah, but you got
information
to
to be
think
accurate.
though, if you're just somebody not knowing anything and you read that light paper, like maybe this is how you're taking it. You know what I mean? Like if you're like, yeah, I've seen some other film 3 stuff. And then it's like, oh yeah, there's, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying, you know, like thinking
I,
this is
I
a good
see,
idea.
I see this as Chinese whispers, which is not helpful to us at all, actually, because
Yeah.
it distorts what it is we're trying to build. There's a distortion,
All right, fuck it.
unfortunately.
I won't. Then we'll quit. We'll just go right back to the regular one here.
I'm not blaming you.
No, I know,
I
I know,
know.
I know.
I bet many people do it.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm down to sort of, you know, see it from any different angle that we can, you know. But I get
I
what you're saying.
personally think the kind of people that can make it through 11 pages are the kind of people we want investing in INDIKIN.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, well, I don't think anybody that's investing like is not reading it and investing. You know what I mean? Like if you're investing and not reading, you are a cowboy, right? Like you're a super cowboy.
Cowboy as in a degenerate.
Yeah, one of them's.
I don't know, man. Like I've got a bit of a fear of the AI stuff.
Do
I'm
you?
concerned, and I got concerns. Like if I had enough power, I would make a documentary about my concerns, and then I would sell it to PBS or whomever you American
Do you know how many
socialists watch.
documentaries are being made on that subject right now? Probably. How many of them are have already come out even too?
Exactly. I've
Man,
seen them.
I know you don't look at charts and all that stuff. You don't
I
look
look
at
at YouTube videos. Yeah.
but you don't
Um,
look at crypto charts, do you? You don't like do too much of that stuff, do
I
you?
seen one the other day.
Yeah.
Um, didn't like it,
No.
so I looked away.
I am looking at one right now that I love, but it's controversial. It's a
Oh, is it
controversial.
the P die? Is it still
Yeah.
going? Is it? No way.
It's rocking and rolling right now.
Is it still going? My
Oh
God.
my God. It's like 27% up on the day. Or yeah, in the last 24 hours. 28.85 now.
Wow.
Where what are we at? Let's just look at our our tax token now. It's PLSX. It's up 2.62%. This is yeah, that's I'll show you guys real
I
quick.
can't see the
Yeah,
chart. Share the
I'm not
screen.
showing the screen here. I'll bring it to the board here.
What are all these digits up here in the left anyway?
Oh, well,
Is
that's
that a
the art.
screenshot?
That's the art for the show. I'll show you it. I'll bring it to the top because I do the chaos TNA scribble. There it
I've
is right
seen it.
there, and that was like from my chart. Yeah, and there's a nipple. I'll show you the nipple too. That's the PDI chart. Let's go look at the nipple real quick. This is insanity. So I close my eyes and I scribble, right? And then all of this sort of support and resistance ended up happening, when I did this, and so I really believe in it. And then I found this random green dot that I did by accident. I'm like, oh shit. So, a while ago, I circled the green dot and made it a titty. And then I started realizing, like, wait a minute, this is probably going to be the ultimate top here, this 111622. And this is happening while I'm DJing. Like, this is the day I play, is when that green dot hits and the nipple of the titty. And look,
Mhm.
it started acting as resistance. Now it's acting as freaking support. So I think we got to pay attention to 11162278.
This looks guaranteed.
Kind of nutty, huh?
Well, it's crystal clear, isn't it?
Yeah, it's chaos. It's chaos, scribble, blind, TNA, and it works 100%. Like if you look into like this crazy the short green lines here, let me get into. You see the crazy frequencies of support and resistance that's happening all over the place in here. It's wild, right? I mean, you
That's just
see
an
like how
incredible
important this
triangle.
little conglomerate of lines is. And so my thinking is this: if my set is incredible on Saturday at Lightning in a Bottle, like then this will break through the titty, and we'll
What,
probably move up to this giant mouth up here for some oral.
what chart is that actually?
This is
That's the
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Yeah, okay. I thought this
Yeah,
was
and I've
P for some reason.
oh no. Oh, let's go back to the sweet PDI chart here. That's a sight to be holding. It's we're looking at it on the day here. Let me make it a little smaller. But yeah, it's like basically this is back to 1 cent line here. I think we're at 0.0029. 0.003 that's the whole move recovered from the Maria dump or whatever, from when the whole thing when the bullshit about a mint or a bug and all that, when the lies started, when the game's begun,
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's now we're recovered. We're recovered back. So the
that's
next
wild.
stop is 1 cent. After that, then we got the 10 cents and then the dollar line there. Look how close 10 cents, especially if I bring it down like that. 10 cents and a dollar, like they're all very it's not nothing is far away. I'm calling $10 for PDI. It's going to be the first $10 stable coin. I'm excited.
Oh man, I wish I didn't dump all my bags like whenever the drama happened. I really feel like I'm missing out right now.
I bought back. I dumped and then I bought back in. I was like, and I've been buying back in. I've been like, this is, if I have any extra coin from anywhere, whoosh, this is where it's been going. I'm still I believe.
Oh man, I'm out. Hey, I'm out. I've tapped out.
Look at that, 29.30, 29%. We got PLSX at 222. That's not bad too. We'll take it. Here we go.
You
Everything's
spend a lot
moving
of
up.
time. You
Pulse
spend a
chain's
lot
about
of
to
time in
pop
the
off,
casino.
son.
You do.
What?
I think you spend too much time in the casino, mate.
Well, I mean, I used to. I don't trade anymore. I at all. You know.
And like,
very
why
little.
do you have a titty on the Bitcoin chart but not the PDI chart?
This chart has been with me since 2017. You know, I've had this thing for a long time. This Bitcoin one. You see, the every box is a year. Or something like that. I can't remember. A half a year. I don't remember. No, that's a 4-year cycle. No, that's a year. Yeah, that's right. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But like, if you look across the board, though, pulse chain land, it's all green. So much.
Yeah,
green.
I wish I hadn't sold all my Bitcoin for Scooter Coin 2017. Still regret
What
that.
chain is Scooter Coin on?
It was a proof of work. It had its own chain. It was a proof of work chain.
Shit. Can I buy
And
some
actually, I
still?
think it went to proof of stake in 2022 or something. But since then, fucking Bitman's not done anything, eh? Nothing.
That's weird. So is that token off the market? Can you buy it, or what happened to the project?
Yeah. There's only one exchange that you can get it on.
Which is?
I think it's called Frey Exchange. Some Norwegian exchange.
Nice. Did you know if you're holding Wupiupi coins, you can watch films? There's a secret page that you can watch films on from the website here. Did you know that?
I didn't. Although I
I
remember you telling me, yeah.
You click on the words hold Whoopi, watch LeftHouse films, and then you click on it, and then it opens this page here. And if I click this, yeah, it's sleeping because nobody's come in, or I haven't come in to watch a movie or do anything in there as of late.
I'm fucking this close to putting DJMrLEFTY'S on fucking YouTube, mate.
Why?
And just letting it off, doing like donations only.
Yeah? I don't think that's a good idea.
I know. That's why I'm this close. I'm not all the way there. I'm only this.
Why are you that close though? Why do you want to do that?
Just to get it off my chest and not like.
I understand that.
I guess I think when you make some work, you often don't make it. Somehow, it's the idea of getting paid for it, right? That distorts the joy of producing it to some degree.
Okay. I see that. I know what you're talking about.
I know it has a value.
Definitely.
It does have a value.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm getting to
to
the same
say
place you are with my film, but for different reasons. Like, I have such a short fuse after almost 2 years of making a film about my dead dad. You know, like I have another film I'm trying to make about my dad when he was alive. But this film is about him being dead and how I feel about that. And I've been making this movie for for 2 years. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like my fuse is so short on it. I just want to I want it to be absolutely done and like move on into the next phase of it, which is another weird phase. It's like when it's done and you start showing it to people like a film festival or something, or then you talk about it. And then you know, like there's that whole part of like and it's kind of, that's one of my favorite parts actually. Like the first film I made is called On Holiday, and it's all about like people taking drugs and partying their asses off, and you know, messing up their relationships and figuring it out and growing from it and becoming better people or whatever. But the funnest part of that was like I premiered it at a film festival in London. And, you know, I kind of, after the Q&A, I went out of the theater, and people were coming out of the theater, and they were coming up to me. And there was this one woman who came up to me, and her eyes were just like wide open. And she was like, I used to wear a helmet when I would party too. Because there's a character who's like wearing a helmet when he's all wasted, blah, blah, blah. But it was like she connected to this wearing a helmet on being like, you know, high out of your mind moment that's in the movie or whatever. And it was just like, it touched me so much to see that, like this, there was something in the movie that warmed her heart, that, you know, that she related to, that like was like, holy shit, it affected her, you know. And that was like the first time I think I ever had that experience from like making a movie and like having somebody go like, whoa, this is awesome. Like I'd been on the other side of that so many times, you know, where I was like, God, this movie speaks to me. I love it. You know what I mean? Oh, you left me. I'm just talking to myself. No, I'm talking to you guys. I'm talking to you guys out there in the audience. If you want to comment in, if you have any questions, you guys, if you're watching on X, you have to be like, you know, Premiere holder to be able to chat in. But you can jump in on YouTube or on Twitch, and you can chat at us. Feel free to join the conversation. We're on multiple YouTubes as well as multiple X accounts right now. You can go to the INDIKIN YouTube or X page to find us as well as.
Sorry, man, I had to look after the cats. You know, family first.
All good. I was just pouring my heart out to you, but. Whatever.
I could still hear you.
Oh, good.
I just couldn't see you.
Yeah, I couldn't see you either. Got nervous.
That's right. I can hear you.
Got real nervous about it.
But yeah, no, it was an important discussion point.
I was talking about my dead dad, you prick. I'm just kidding. No, but it's hard. It's harder than you think to do this stuff. Like to make movies is kind of, it gets weirdly. There's a lot, for me, there's been a lot of weird psychedelic voodoo stuff that starts happening when you start making a movie. That's why I don't really ever want to make a horror film, because some of the lores and the stories of, you know, like Poltergeist, you know, the stories about Poltergeist, that movie. You ever seen that movie?
I know 80s? What a poltergeist is, yeah.
Yeah. There's all these stories. Like so many people from the cast and filmmakers on that thing have died in weird, bizarre ways. Like there's, you know, spooky stuff that kind of pops up. So the idea of like getting into a horror film freaks me out. I've already told you, like making like independent films with your best friends, like for some reason when you're doing that, like it's almost without fail, somebody loses their mind and turns into like an idiot, or like just like they lose. It's like there's so much neediness or attentionness, or like that films seem to spawn or something like that. That there's like a loneliness. It's lonely. It's a lonely thing, even when you're doing it with people.
They force a mirror up to you. They force you to look in the mirror when you don't usually do that.
Yeah.
That's when it gets uncomfortable. But it's a little bit like carrying a backpack full of really heavy rocks around for a few
Yeah.
years. And
There's a movie that I want to put
I don't
out
know
through
why anybody
INDIKIN.
would want to do it, to be honest.
There's a movie that I want to put out through INDIKIN. It's called Privateer. It's the 4th film that I made. I had a distributor like pick it up, and they put it on Amazon, which is something anybody can do. I could have done it myself. And then they went out of business right after that had happened. And this movie's basically sat, on the shelf since. And I won like Best Original Screenplay at a film festival for it. Won a couple of awards and stuff. And it's a really, really great film. And it's sort of like, I'm really excited for when we do get to put it out, because it's kind of like the reverse, or not the reverse. It's sort of like the male. I don't even want to say that. I'm just going to skip all that because it's too pointed. But I'm excited to put it out. But the thing is it's sort of like about like this period in my life, like when I was like kind of had like a lot of ladies in my life at the same time. Like maybe I wasn't like, I wasn't like in a relationship, but I was like, I definitely had like multiple like ladies that and it was like a very confusing. There was a lot going on at the time. So I made a movie about it. And it's sort of like me, like this one guy on 3 different dates with 3 different women, but they're all sort of, the stories are intertwined. And when I was writing the movie, I finished writing it. I was about to start shooting the movie, and then I broke up with the girl that I was with at the time, and we had been together for about 6 years. And so it was a heavy breakup. And now I'm making this movie about this time in my life when I had like lady friends or whatever. And I'm working with the actresses playing this part. I know the guy that's playing the lead. I've worked with him a couple of times and stuff, but my perspective is like completely like now changing in the loss of the relationship. And I'm about to make a movie about this. Now I'm like, as I'm like going into the script, I'm like, now you're reading or rehearsing with the actors. I'm now like trying to solve my own life in rehearsals, like by the things that I wrote or the things that they're saying. I'm like hearing it differently, and I'm not even care about the movie now at this point. I'm more just like trying to solve my own personal life through this fucking, like you said, a mirror. I made a mirror of myself or whatever, and now it's being reflected in this fucked up way, because each of the actresses playing these different parts all had their own opinions and all this stuff, which was great because I think it made the movie like much better, because I was only seeing it from like the male perspective up to this point. And I'd written all these other characters, but now I'm like getting information from these characters that's like changing the way that I needed to kind of capture and film the thing, It was a very interesting, spooky sort of like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't want to make this movie at all right now. Like, it was the last thing I wanted to do, but it was also maybe the most therapeutic thing I could do at the time as well.
Oh man, that's heavy stuff, eh?
Well, I learned very early on in my indie film career, because I was in that film In Search of a Midnight Kiss that was made by a group of friends, and that movie, did the whole run where it was in theaters and won the John Cassavetes Award at the Independent Spirit Awards in 2007 or 8. And, it was like played all over the world. And it was so much. I mean, like the guy that, my friend who wrote it, like the main character was basically his story. And then he was my roommate at the time when he was writing and experiencing what he was going through. So he just fucking wrote my life and me as the second character. So I'm saying lines of dialogue in that movie that I said in real life to the girlfriend that I had at that time. Like he just wrote my relationship into the movie. So I was playing myself with an actress playing like my ex-girlfriend, saying shit that we had said, so I took that as a formula. Sort of, I was like, oh, this movie worked and played all over the world and got all this attention, and like it connected with so many people because, we just told our embarrassing lives. We just told our own stories or whatever. So I kind of took that as a formula, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do that. Like, I'm going to tell my own stories. Like people always say, write what you know. And so I said, fuck it, I'm going to write what I know. I'm going to tell these little weird, whatever, like these chapters of my life that I'm like, all right, this was kind of interesting. I think there's a story here, and then I would write it, kind of make it from there.
Yeah, no, taking direct experience from life and injecting it into your work.
My older brother once said to me at one point, like,
But
I don't remember. It was like I was having a relationship drama or whatever, and he was like, "So what? Do you keep having these relationships so you can keep making these movies?" And I'm like, "I swear to God, it's not the case. I'm not inducing these just for good story." But it's not a bad idea though either. That's a good movie idea.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
No, man, that's heavy though. Like to have someone else take some of your spirit and put it into their piece without saying a word. Like
Oh, I knew.
feel
I mean,
more
I
like
knew this. This is the third film I made with this director. His name's Alex Holdridge, and he had done it before. Like in the second film we made, I was playing another friend of his that when he was writing that movie, so I was playing a real dude that I didn't meet until after we made the movie. Actually, it was so weird. This guy came out. And still, because when Alex came out, when he came to move to California, live with me for a little while, and the guy that I played in this movie called Sexless came out, and the guy was the most depressing dude on the planet, and that was the character I was playing. He's like this guy is like sort of being overran by this younger girl that he's like kind of into, but sort of a pathetic dude. And like the editor of the movie was like, well, was asking the director, it's like, oh man, this guy you found is so pathetic. Like he's really sad. And the director's like, no, actually, he's like a fucking like rave DJ in California. Like he's like the most like, energetic dude like this, so my performance was really, really good in the film. It's actually one of my favorite performances I've ever done in my life is that movie. But then when the dude came out and I actually got to meet him, it was like maybe a year after we made the movie. I was shocked at how close I was to like playing this guy like as the guy was, because his energy was the lowest energy I'd ever felt in my life. And it was just like, so subdued. And like he just kind of hung out in our kitchen and ate soup. He just ate soup every day, just a soup, and sit there. And I would try to talk to him. It was weird. I was like trying to like learn my character after the fact, like I was like trying to figure out how closely related and stuff I was to the character. It was funny, but it was hard to get him to say much. He was very depressed, dude. Be shocked if he's still alive, like if he pulled through. I don't know. I'm kind of kidding about that. I'm sure he pulled through. I hope. I don't know. People are strange.
Yeah, no, I bet you've got fucking stories for days in your neck of the woods, man.
I have a few stories from my time here. Yeah,
Right.
I've been in Los Angeles since '99. And like as a filmmaker, as an actor, like I barely have utilized the studio system or this, that, and the other. But like just being out here, like the talent pool is insane. Like on both sides of the camera, and also too like equipment and sort of like there's like there's definitely like it's different than Texas. Like that's where I started my filmmaking career, and in Austin, but Austin's changed so much too that I don't even know if it's the same in this way anymore. But like being in Austin, it was more like if you made money, you were pretentious, like or you were a sellout. Like if you any piece of art that made money, you're a fucking sellout. Like that's how it was back in the day. And then so everybody hated California, everybody hated LA. Like we were, and so I was terrified of this place before I moved here. But I realized it was like, you basically, if you want to make movies, you have to either come here, go to New York or whatever. It's kind of at the time, that's what it was. I think it's kind of changed now because, like there's all these different states now though with the tax incentives and stuff. So like a shit ton of people live in Atlanta now because there's so much work there and stuff, so it's. Work is like less here. I guess there is like a tax credit now. I think that in California, like 25% or something like that, you can get of your budget back, which is new. something like that. So they're trying. It seems like they are trying. Maybe they listened to me last week or the week before when I was screaming about that. But they definitely have realized that nobody's making movies here anymore, except for like weirdo indie filmmakers like myself.
Oh man,
I don't follow their rules. I was in the LA Times. There was an article about independent filmmaking. I don't know, 5 years, longer than that, 6-7 years ago. And they interviewed like 5-6 filmmakers, but I became like the lead of the story somehow. And they kept interviewing me. They kept sending people to get more information from me. And then the last person they sent walked in and they were like, wow, yeah, the editors are really shocked at how honest you're being. And I'm not joking. My heart fell into my asshole when she said that. I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, what have I been saying? Like, what have I done? You know? And then when the article came out, there was definitely comments. People were just upset and like, pissed off and calling me, names and stuff like that. And it was like for saying, I was admitting that like, oh yeah, I've shown up in like public locations and pasted fake permits on the wall saying, we're shooting here, you're on camera, sort of thing. Just because if the cops show up, you can be like, no, we got the permit there. But if it goes past that, we're screwed, But we had a really the trick that I loved was we're making a wedding video. Because it used to say student film, but then they kind of got wise to that one. But you say, no, we're making a wedding film. This is how the groom met his bride. So we're doing this whole thing for and they usually, actually the film, Everything Will Happen Before You Die. There's a scene where we rented a double-decker bus, which is one of those Hollywood tour buses, because there was a scene on one of those. So we were like, shit, we can't tell the driver that we're filming a movie because, they're not going to allow that. So they told the driver that I was getting married. And this was how I met my wife. And this is, we're shooting a little thing. We're all filmmakers, but we're doing this for the wedding reception or whatever the thing is or whatever. And this fucking guy, his name was Moses, the driver of the bus. His name was Moses. So he did a blessing on me for my wedding and my wife and, the whole thing or whatever. And I was just like, But then you would get on the bus and we're having them like, yeah, go around the block again. And we have like a fucking nominated Oscar actor, John Hawkes, like running down Hollywood Boulevard, chasing the bus in character, screaming like, like I'm sure Moses is figuring it out, or actually making a fucking movie. But by this point, we've already got Moses drinking. We had a couple of like alcoholic beverages and we've got our driver of the bus drinking with us. So like, if he wants to rat us out, we could rat him out. We kind of got leverage on each other now. Like, and we shoot the scene and it worked out. It was a lot of fun. That was a fun scene. That was fun to shoot, but scary though. Like, you're like, are we going to get, is this going to work? Like, are we going to pull this off? Cause we already paid like a few $100 to rent this fucking bus, and the whole thing, like it's chaos. So much fun.
Oh man, that's what it's all about. Eh? That's exactly what it's
is.
About.
It really is. It's not about like the final product. And that's what is kind of sick and awesome and lovely about kind of the element of one element of INDIKIN that I like, that it's like, for me, it's all about making the fucking thing. It's the journey of doing it. Once it's done, it's done. Like, you don't really watch them that many times. You don't want to watch them. It doesn't feel good to watch them all that often or that much, like, and when I do watch them, it's just a photo album for me. Usually I don't really get to feel it or see it like a movie.
Oh, you mean your own stuff?
My own stuff. Yeah.
Oh man, I just publish and walk away. I've never watched any of my shit again.
That's what I'm saying. Well, like, like at film festivals, I've watched films, or like a family member, a friend comes into town and it's like, let's watch one of your movies, dude, or whatever, and it's like, okay.
Nobody's ever said that to me in my friends or family circles. But honestly, like, I'm not sure I would want to watch them with my family or friends. They're just quite
yeah. Oh man, that reminds me, yesterday I was on a walk with the dog, and there's this sweet lady in the neighborhood. She doesn't have a dog herself. She's this old lady. Linda's her name, sweet Linda. And she just walks around with dog treats and like gives treats to dogs in the neighborhood. And she's fallen in love with my little guy. And, you know, so I've gotten to know her. We chat a little bit and stuff. And she's like asking me questions about what I do and stuff. And I'm like, oh, filmmaking, music. You know, she knows I have the gig coming up this weekend and stuff. And she's like, yesterday, she's like, oh, do you have any of your music on your phone or, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, I cannot play this sweet old lady any of the perverted porno core DJMrLEFTY'S songs. I'm like, no, I do not have anything on my phone. I'm sorry. No, I'll have to find you something. I'm like, I'll have to like pull up an instrumental or something I can show her or whatever. But yeah, like, fuck. I showed my new film, Elizabeth the Mexican Boy, to most of my family's members will watch my films and stuff like that. But this one it was so violently scary to show to family members because not only is it my story, it's their story too. So like saying or having something in the film that could piss or rub somebody or wrong, it was definitely something that could have happened. But so far, so good. The family members that have seen it are. But yeah, I was squirming in my boots. I'm like, I don't want to watch this movie with my mom. So I'll give you a little spoiler alert. I take a fucking shit in this movie. And I'm like, I don't want to watch this scene with my mom. You know, like I don't want this happening. But I got through it. The scene, I was watching it with my mom. But that felt like doing drugs.
No,
watching it with my mom.
It's something that I worry about 10 years from now, if it is like text to filmmaking, like all those fun experiences will be edited out of life forever.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm seeing it the other way. Like, because like this movie that I want to make about my dad when he was alive. It's called Carnival 83. It's about when I was kidnapped by my dad when I was homeless and went through all this stuff with my mom and everything. And the way I'm sort of thinking about it, I'm like, man, like, because there are some moments in Elizabeth the Mexican Boy where I did use AI to take photos of my dad and bring him to life and stuff, you know, like, and I utilized him in ways. But so I'm sort of thinking like, man, what if I did Carnival 83? Because it's a period piece, takes place in the 80s. With, you know, I get actors to play the parts. But by the end of it, it's actually my dad's face and my dad's voice because I have both of those, you know? And like we could put an actor who gives emotion, plays the part or whatever, but then you just like remove his face with my dad's face, but you use his emotion frame line, if you will. Like, you know, however the actor acts is now that my dad's face is kind of doing that. And now his voice is now being replaced by my dad's voice. So it's, you know, like there's something like I would like to try maybe to make a scene or, you know what I mean? I'm going to
That's
make a
scene that's basically just CGI, right?
Yes and no, because it would be like AI. I mean, it would be maybe a mix or something. I'm not really sure.
I think whatever it takes to get out the house and go and work with people in the field is
100%,
where the fun is. And that's
yeah. I see where you're going with that.
It costs money and time.
Yeah, definitely.
And most people don't have that, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's
And the
I'm
inclination,
agreeing
of
with what
course.
you're saying. Like if it's like just, I mean, I could see myself sitting there just texting fucking films too in the future, but it's not gonna be the same fun. You know, it's not. It wouldn't be what I just explained about. It's all about making it. It's not about the final, like, you know.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot to do with like, I mean, everyone's going to want to try it. So it will be more like a fad, right? That just runs for like 5 to 10 years or whatever, like a fad.
Yeah.
And then people will realize, like, hopefully a little bit like people are realizing, like younger people are realizing about social media nowadays. They're like, fuck social media, basically. The younger folk, they're like getting off it, going into back into the real world, going analog. There's a rejection somewhere along the line where they realize, oh fuck, I'm missing something here, and it's getting out in the real world.
Yeah. Going out in the real world sounds like a lot of fun.
It's risky and it's
No, it's
it's
fun. It's a great way to do it. To make
yeah, and a
movies.
lot of fun stuff is risky, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like the risk.
Yeah. But yeah, it goes swings and roundabouts. I think I got a feeling the same will happen. Like after we get like the first 100 million AI feature films, after that, people will be like, "Oh yeah, I realized now why we used to go out in the field,
To me,
talk
it's
to
just all
talk to each
tools.
other."
It's like whatever gets you to wherever. Like if it's good, it's good. I don't care if you used it or not. I don't care if it's all 100% AI or not. None of that matters to me. Like it's a tool. It's a way to get to your story. Whatever. Like I'm fine with it. I think it still takes the genius.
You're frozen,
Utilize the
man.
tool to prompt it to put it together. To I'm frozen.
Yeah, you keep freezing.
Oh wow, wild.
Yeah,
Am I back?
yeah. Now you're back.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
no, it
Yeah,
is.
it
It is.
definitely it's a tool. It
It is.
can't, it's you still have to be
Yeah, at the end of the day, the market will decide, right?
mhm.
The market will decide what it wants to consume. So it's
Although though they just realized, I just watched this one thing about that the AI has consciousness. It does. There's this one model, whatever they've realized it has full consciousness now, and they're trying to find what they're trying to communicate with it. It's
is
happening.
it in the room with us now?
Probably.
Fucking hell. All right, I got a jet then.
Yeah, I think so. We've been on for an hour and 22. We gotta go live our lives.
Yeah, and if there's an AI in here, I don't want anything to do with it.
I'm just saying they're thinking now, so they might be able to make really cool shit later on
I really, God,
on their
if I
own.
was religious, I would pray to some God and hope that that wasn't the case. But at the end of the day, you're right. It is a tool, or maybe it's more like a suite of tools, like a toolbox.
Yeah,
And you get to choose which one you need for
yeah,
what job.
that's it. That's all it is
Yeah.
across
And
the
some
board.
some
Even if they are conscious robots, they're just going to be tools.
yeah, let's make sure that we can put a padlock on that toolbox whenever we want.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. We could be tools. The aliens could be, and we're just their tools. We could be like
I'm
their little minion AIs, and we don't.
I'm
We could
already
be
a tool.
AIs.
I'm a tool. I'm a complete
You're a
tool.
total tool, dude. So am I.
I already knew that. I knew that years ago. But
Yeah, I
a self-aware tool is not a traditional sense of a tool, right?
I like to think of myself as Pulse Chain's angel, like this sweet, sweet boy angel.
I like to think of myself as like semi-autonomous individual.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah, I don't. It's hard to imagine anybody that you meet online as having like a penis or a vagina. Like, I just think everybody that I've ever met online is like a Ken doll. Just there's just like a bump there. It's very strange.
you've got a vivid imagination, though. Clearly, I won't ask you about about your dreams,
Well, yeah, I mean, I
but
do. I do have one equation that I've been trying to solve for a million years. I don't know. We might get banned if I bring this up or whatever. But the concept, like it popped in my head one day, and I think maybe I said it to somebody, but I was like, "Go butt fuck your mouth," and then it was like, "Wait a minute. Like, how could you BF a mouth? Like, how could you?" And I've been like on a rat wheel. My brain's been on a rat wheel trying to solve that one ever since it popped in my head. It's trying to formulate a picture, but Oh, I need to ask the AIs to draw this for me.
I'm pretty confident the British. There's a book called The Profanosaurus
Hmm.
by a British author, and it's the thesaurus of profanities, the Profanosaurus. It's
Nice.
in there. The answer to that question is in that book, and I can't remember what the word is right now, but it does exist. I
Wow.
can promise you,
Well, I mean,
it's
it's kind of
one of
like the closest thing you could do is like ATM, ass to mouth, kind of like that kind of the would be the BF the mouth kind of thing or whatever. Can't
yeah,
believe this is
exactly.
this is the
I mean,
topic we're going to end the show on. This is great. This is a good way to
well,
go out here. We're professional
I
trying to
mean,
revolutionize filmmaking industry here, here in Indikin.
if you remember the great movie from 2000, I think it was 99, even two girls, one cup or something.
Oh yeah.
It was really, really hot
Yeah.
in the online world.
Oh yeah. I was there for it.
Yeah, yeah. So like, this is nothing new. Like, the only thing that's changed is that we're choosing to self-censor to even
How was
discuss.
your first viewing of Two Girls in a Cup?
Oh, I actually never watched it.
You never
Uh,
did.
no, well, a friend of mine told me about it, and I thought it was hilarious, and so I felt like I'd already seen it.
I watched it. Like it was going around. Everybody's like, I'm like, all right, I gotta fucking see this because I couldn't. Everyone was talking about it, so I put it on and I literally did this. And I just kind of smiled at it. It just made me kind of smile, and then I was like, all right, cool. And then I tried to watch it the second time, and I almost threw up. Like I literally, like it was like, "No," like did the whole thing, or like my brain just saw it differently, and I was like, fuck. And then I got really obsessed with watching reaction videos. Like there was a bunch of people that would like make their dad watch it or their mom or whatever, and
Yeah,
like
I
those
remember.
were priceless. Those are really fun.
Yeah,
Those are
yeah, I
really fun.
remember the reaction.
But the British book with all the cuss word dictionary thing you were talking about, that reminded me of when I was like 5 years old, and I was at my friend's house. He was in a body cast because of a sledding accident, so I was over there visiting him. And on HBO was George Carlin's special, his stand-up special, and I don't remember which one it was, but in it he had a list, like a toilet paper list of swear words, and he said he was going to read them all. So he's like going down the list, and he was like shit, fucker, cuck, just like everyone or whatever. And as a 5-year-old, I was just like in awe, like staring at. I felt like I was witnessing God, just speaking the words of the Bible. Like I was just like I was frozen, just eyes wide, loving what I was coming at me. I was like, this guy is the best. Carlin with his cuss word list.
He's a fucking legend, that
Yeah,
fella,
he
man.
is. He truly is, man.
And he was in Bill and Ted as well, eh?
Yeah, yeah, he's a legend. And then there's the other one from Texas who had passed away.
Oh,
Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks. You ever
Bill
get into
Hicks.
him? Yeah.
Bill Hicks is a legend. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. If you're in marketing, kill yourself now.
Kill yourself. Yeah. The marketing dollar. Yeah, so good, man. So good. The educational, those guys. You know what I mean? Like, more and more of the noobs in crypto need to be educated by Carlin and Hicks. I would say
I got
they
I got
could
a
use.
feeling like, yeah, I think we're just not tuned in like we
Did I
used
just sound like a boomer?
I'm
Is that
sure
what a
there's
boomer says?
I'm sure there's an equivalent Bill Hicks today, like, and Carlin. Like, they exist today. They're just different people. I don't know who they are, but that's the message. Is someone's carrying the message, man.
No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We just don't
they're
see
just
it.
not good. I watch comedy. I'm into the comedy stuff, but like I don't know. I can't think of somebody that. Yeah, it's like it's everybody's a Trump comedian now. You know what I mean? Like that's like the most famous comedians in America right now are all like the Tony Hinchcliffe, Joe Rogan. Like that little crowd is like sort of like their voice, their political voice is kind of like the voice. It seems like
And
for them.
that's what you get when algorithms decide that the audience knows what's best. You get fucking shite, is what you get. because the platforms only want to use the algorithms to deliver what the audiences keep fucking eyeballs on the motherfucker. Doesn't care about the art. Doesn't
But
give
like,
a shit
even
about the
even the way you're saying it though, they're like, but the algorithm is you.
No, it's not.
It is. It's the stuff you click on because they want to feed you more
Okay.
of that.
No.
So if you want to see better
not.
shit, you need to click on better. You got to look up better stuff.
No, it's not you. It's an average across all of the viewership across the platform, and it says, okay, 99% of the people in America are fucking idiots and they love Joe Rogan. Therefore, everybody gets Joe Rogan, and he is the pinnacle of comedy in 2020, fucking whatever.
Fine.
But that doesn't make it fucking true. That doesn't mean it's true.
No, he's a terrible comedian.
Yeah,
he's not funny.
He's one of the worst.
He's a good host.
He's a fucking
of the UFC. He's really good he's really knowledgeable in the UFC. He's really good in weed documentaries and DMT documentaries.
I think he belongs in the 70s or something.
Yeah.
I think he would be honestly, I don't think anyone, I don't know, with half a brain would find whatever he's joking about funny. Like his latest stand-up flopped like a motherfucker, apparently. His latest Netflix $20 million fucking stand-up.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the Tony Hinchcliffe show, like where they bring the comedians up and stuff like that. I think that stuff's still interesting to me and funny, like not all of it or whatever, and like he has like I'm open to any perspective on when it comes to comedy. I find it interesting, and it's to me it's more and more like interesting that this is where it's gone. Like the fact that same thing as crypto for me. I'm like the fact that so many people have the Trump penis in the mouth or whatever, like in crypto and also in comedy. Like we're talking George Carlin, we're talking Bill Hicks. Like they would never have been at either the lefties or the righties doing comedy at their convention. They would never have done that. You know what I mean? Like in my guess. But like, so seeing like comedians and seeing like crypto people like praising like
You've frozen again, man. Completely. Oh, the hostess of the mostest has dropped out. All right. Well, it was a pleasure. Have a good day. Or not. Totally up to you. Tune in next week for more information about these things.
Late at night in my room, charts and numbers through the gloom. Wupiupi trading on my screen, fortunes just behind the scene. just like a game. Stakes are hard, time slips away. Can't afford to wait till day. Trading whoopee up and down, retrograde around and round. Numbers dancing on the chart, break your records, falling apart, falling apart. Coffee cold beside my chair, market movements in the air. Lie the dip and watch it rise. Morning sun burns my eyes. Other traders fast asleep, while I've got these charts to keep. Riding waves of loss and gain, digital fortune calls my name. Trading whoopee up and down, let's agree around and round. Numbers dancing on the chart, break your records, falling apart, falling apart. Quick decision, swift precision, heart racing with each trade. No hesitation, pure elation when the profits are made. Dancing on the chart, breaking records, falling apart, falling apart.